This car. So Dad was welcome video, guys. First of all, so my dad was driving yesterday. Went to go meet us somewhere, and he said he wanted to shift. He has a '73 Beetle, standard Beetle, 1600 dual port motor. He went to go. He was cruising along. All of a sudden, he heard a lot of rocks and banging around coming from the rear end. He thought an axle had fallen off and was dragging. That's how all the sounds it made. But when he went to go put the car in gear, you can literally put the car in gear without any without clutch. You can put it in any gear, so it's not grabbing anything, it's not engaging. Dean and Dad think that the clutch had probably blown apart. Hopefully it's the clutch, or hopefully it's not the input shaft. It's one of the two. Maybe I don't know yet, but today's gonna be the first Volkswagen as well that I dropped the motor on, so we're gonna go do that. Follow me along with my journey, and let's go tear that thing apart. Dad's gonna supposedly help, so I'm not sure how much I'm gonna upload on this, but you guys can look for way more better videos on how to remove an engine. I'm not making a how-to, this is just documenting. Here we go. First things first, disconnect the battery. We're gonna have to do that, but the only thing that's gonna be annoying is these are heater tubes. They're kind of tight, he said, so hopefully these come off easy. But bunch of electrical you gotta disconnect there. All the stuff that powers for 12 volt, gotta disconnect all that stuff. All the flathead screws. Take this piece of tin out, just this one. Pull that out. I'll take the airbox off too. That should help us, and then I'll jack the car up beforehand. Okay, so what we've gotten done so far, like I said, took the airbox off. You got your flathead or your 10 or 13 mil nut here. Use a flathead, it's easier. Take that off, cover it up. I gotta do that still. Then you have all your little flathead screws that hold on the tin around here. What you're gonna wanna do is take all those screws out around here, not too hard. Pull the tin out, wiggle it around the seal. That's not so hard. As well, you have your wiring loom here. Luckily, my dad's is super nice and well kept. So take these off the alternator or generator if you have, but alternator, you'll take these off. Make sure the battery's disconnected. That's the first thing I did. Anyways, also take off the positive off the coil. Make sure your harness is fully off. Everything's good out of the way. Your oil pressure sender, where the heck you want to call this. Sorry, my bad. I'm just thinking off the top here. There's a wire there. That's this guy. Take that off. That's good to go. It helps to jack up the car if you guys want to from the middle of the oil sump where you got your 6 nuts on there. I was going to do that, but Dad doesn't like when people do that with his car, so not that matters because you're dropping the engine with it anyways, but I recommend that if you can without hitting the car. And then 2 jack stands underneath it. Safety first. There's also these tubes here. Before you take the tin off, these two have to come off. Wiggle them through off the heat exchangers. I think that's pretty much it for here. And the throttle cable, take an 8 mil, whatever it is, flathead, take that off. It's loose right now. Then when you go underneath with the heat exchangers, there's an 8 mil nut. You have to disconnect those so the heat exchangers are loose. When you take those off, you can then deal with that. So I just got one on the other side. Put these aside, remember where they go. Very important. After that, you got 2 big 17s underneath. I'll see if I can show you after. There's 2 on top, but you're gonna want the jack to support the motor by then. Okay, so update. It's next day now. I have not gotten the motor out. I'm so super pissed off. I was mad. I didn't need to take a break. This is not a car to rush on, but I ended up getting everything done. Tried to get the motor out, and I've been pulling it back and forth, making sure I don't hit the exhaust on the car and everything. This is not a car to screw up. So I've been doing that, and it's not coming loose. So I've been jigging it around just like on YouTube, and I've been struggling. I'm having troubles. I might have to reach out to a close friend. It's not how I expected. I thought I would have had this, being I literally got everything done except for this last step. So let's see how she goes. Okay to launch these things? Yeah. You don't know? Okay, Dean, if you're okay on camera, we're on the YouTubes. It's all right. Dean came and helped me. We got the motor finally off. You can see our clutch is no longer. Dad's got to stop doing those 5K clutch dumps here on this thing. Okay, well, we found our problem. Thank God it's not the input shaft. And we need a rear main seal over here. That's good. Alrighty. Well, boys and girls, as you can see now, terrible updates. The motor is in the car. Yay! So Dean is never gonna watch this, but my good buddy Dean, my Volkswagen Wizard, we put the motor in yesterday. We were able to do that. He's well, obviously you got the clutch in. Sorry, took flywheel off. Did the rear main seal in this car, as I'm going to now. I'll say after. I'm gonna clean it all up because it's all oil leaky looking. So rear main seal was done. Since we were there, flywheel, polished it off, reusing it. It's still good. We're using another stock clutch, nothing crazy. And a new release bearing as well. New release bearing, put the motor in, hooked all the wiring up and everything. Then the last thing to do, obviously, other than all that, is to put the exhaust on. Well, aftermarket parts come with aftermarket problems. So I'm very peeved dealing with it. Dad's headers, aftermarket headers and muffler. So obviously, there's the mufflers. Headers are on the car, but they are such a pain in the ass, guys. So I'm trying to get them on and then fit the heat exchanger tubes here that go to the top of the header there. Trying to line these up. As you can see, there's a punch right there. It's a pain in the ass. Taking it off was another story. Putting it on, it was way harder. I spent over an hour on this. There is a missing stud there, as you can see. That was the original stud with the 12mm nut still worked to tighten it on, but the stud just comes with it, right? So it still works as a bolt. But to put it on, because of the way these pipes are bigger and they're aftermarket, this is just so annoying. So for me to get the pipe, there's only enough room just to have the nut. So on the bottom, each sides of this heat exchanger, the heater box here, you can actually put a wrench there, but you only get a quarter turn each side. You can't fit a socket in because the pipe is way too close to the nut. So I've been struggling with that. Even wrenches, the teeth of the wrench are almost too big. So you only get a quarter turn and you risk stripping it. So Dean has a great idea. He's picking up I think they're like M10 Allen bolt. So we're gonna put an Allen bolt in there. It'll be a lot easier and you'll get more action in it. And the other thing we did while the motor was out is, it's very crucial if you know air-cooled Volkswagens, a proper engine seal. So we got a new one. Dad's was old, had a couple cracks in it. If you didn't have the motor, you wouldn't really notice it, but it still did its job, right? But it just wasn't as good as it should have been. So I replaced it. Dean helped me along the way a little bit, but I installed most of it on my own, and that's what a pain. I would like to clean up the bottom of the dad's motor here, so I'm gonna get my little bin tray there and move this cardboard over and grab some cleaners, degreasers, engine degreasers, and spray the shit out of this and get it all cleaned up, because the rear main seal leaks right over here. It drags over as you drive. I'm sure some of it could be from the sump plate, but and maybe the case. It is a Volkswagen after all, but it's not that bad. I don't think it leaks from there. Maybe a little bit from the split of the case. But Porsches and Beetles, they all do that. But I know the rear main seal gummed it all up over there, so I'm going to try and clean that up. Well, as you can see, I've made a mess. So it's cleaning up actually quite nicely. Trans is going to have to take some work. I'm probably going to finish the motor off, clean that all off. Then I will do the scrub on the transmission when I can get under there. But with the motor dripping, I'm not doing that, so screw that. But I've sprayed it all down. I gave it a light scrub, and I sprayed it again, and it's doing phenomenal. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's actually silver again. So Lake Sea Bass over here with dirt. We is back after all this fuel engine degreaser and brake clean. Here we go. Not so shabby, eh, guys? So the trans could be better. I could scrub it more and pick away at more of this dirt, but it's cleaned up quite a bit more. Got all the crud out. And the engine bay is just fine and dandy, so I'm pretty stoked with that. It looks pretty good, so made a mess. Hey, Dean.
Hey.
Bye, Dean. Okay, we're all done. As Dean was commenting, we did not film any of us working on it again. It's all hooked up. I hate these. I hate these. What else do I do without kneeling here? The exhaust gave us grief all at the flange of where it mounted. I learned two things while working on this car with Dean. Aftermarket parts give you aftermarket problems. Nothing fits right, but the box it came in. Isn't that right? And yeah, the other one I'm not gonna say on film. What? Go ahead. No, I'm talking to the camera. What else? I hooked up the heater exchangers after, and Dean helped me with the tubing from the doghouse that goes to heater exchangers. Otherwise, I think that's all it. We fired it up. Everything runs. Clutch engages. It's in gear. Successful clutch. Yes.
So this guy thought he could replace a clutch all on his own?
Yeah, I didn't do it on my own. Big thanks to Dean. Thanks, Dean. Help me do it all.
You know, I could do it in 2 hours.
2 hours? You said 4 before. Dean said 4 hours before back in the day, but it's okay. I'm sure you could. And a Baja, yeah, with nothing around it. Okay, well that's it. Dad's car runs. Happy day. Dad smiles. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.